Okir and the other girls also approached the new pet of the house. Everything was going smoothly. Shinshin was also mastering the house's technology with her hacking power. She discovered where the attempts to breach the house's security system were coming from, and thanks to her skills, it was straightforward to find out where they are, and they have no idea she's in their system. It was precisely from the base where Shinshin's teacher is. Soon they should find out and try to attack this mansion. The confident protagonist says that when that time comes, he will destroy all his enemies without fear. He goes to Karen to find out about the progress in improving security. Karen says she made a silencer for him. His rifle is lethal, but it makes too much noise. Now he can be more discreet while carrying out his eliminations. She did a good job, even though the girl says that's the least she can do. She'll do anything he wants. He sits next to the girl and puts his hand on her shoulder. He asks if she knows how to manufacture grenades and explosive mines. I'm not sure if she's uncomfortable or shy. She looks at him with a questioning look and says he's underestimating her. The girl thought it was something complicated, but it's straightforward. The protagonist thought being able to do that was already incredible. She explains that people have been doing this since medieval times. She, as an expert, can do it blindfolded if she has the materials. If that's the case, Zhang Yi explains that enemies of an armed organization can attack their base, and they have mutant powers. She is concerned if they are in danger, but the protagonist reassures her and says no, he can keep everyone safe. Furthermore, the protagonist says that since the first time he saw the girl, he felt a special affinity for her. The girl questions if this is really true. He just asks when he ever lied to her. He felt something for her. It's as if she were a sister he has to protect. These words leave her deeply sad, so she also has no chance of being something more to him. Zhang Yi strokes her face and says that as long as she works for him, she will have a safe life. The girl perks up again and says she will do everything he asks, without any restriction. Now Zhang Yi leaves the girl to work. He admits that his method is to make her totally devoted to him, to try to win his approval with the best possible work. He urgently needs her to pass weapons to him to use against his new enemies. The next step was to contact Chun and Uncle Yu. He tells them that he discovered the existence of a fortress that will be a threat to him. These soldiers are already spreading out. They shouldn't reveal to anyone that they have special abilities. Uncle Yu and the otaku agree and will be careful as he asked. After warning the two, Zhang Yi affirms that the otaku is at greater risk. His people are situated between his base and the mysterious military base, so they will soon be the first to receive a visit from these people. The protagonist warns that if Chun is in danger, he can come to his mansion as quickly as possible. The reason for this is that someone with such incredible abilities like Chun cannot be left to die. Meanwhile, Chun was sure that they would not harm his people because they are just a farming village. I don't see why any organization would be interested in them. In the base of the West Mountain, which is 27 kilometers from Chun's village, two people leave the base, and their destination is to investigate the region where our protagonist is. A man and a girl prepare to travel, so he asks her if she thinks this snowstorm will end at some point. According to her, the cold will last a long time still. She says this could be God's last act to eliminate the sins of the earth. They hop on the sled and head toward their goal of investigating the district where the suspect Zhang Yi's base is. The condominium where the protagonist's base is located is after a frozen river. They won't go there now. They head off until they find a safe passage. Soon they are in front of Chun's village. They are impressed that behind the humble houses, there is a giant ice castle. Such a construction. They make noise at the entrance to the village, so the residents come out to see who's arriving. In these difficult times, everyone is an enemy. The woman is surprised that they are so prepared for the cold. When asked who they are, she introduces herself as government envoys on an official mission. After the village leader verifies if she is really the person she claims to be, the old man said they are welcome here. He also orders his people to treat these people very well. They are introduced to the important places in the village. One of the villagers, troubled by this, questions why the leader is welcoming these people. It's clear what they want from them. The old man counters by asking what is more important at the moment. It's not the food they have, it's the influence of the powerful people in this town. He convinces the people that providing food for them is a small price to pay to have an alliance with the military. The leader offered a banquet for the visitors. The girl says she is surprised at how well they can handle the snowstorm. They have plenty of food and can survive the cold. The leader boasts that it's all thanks to him. He ordered the snow castle to be built. The organization of the village's resources and food cultivation is all the responsibility of this old man. This makes the two soldiers admit that he is incredibly competent. One of the followers thinks their leader is a liar. He became the leader just a week ago. Everything he's talking about is the merit of the previous leader. The girl continues to extract information from the leader. She is curious about how they can produce so much food. The old man explains that before the snowstorm, their village was an agricultural one that produced 30% of the city's vegetables. Even after after the snowstorm, they manage to keep the crops active. Before he finishes explaining something, it occurs to this idiotic old man that revealing all the secrets to these people is not advantageous. He changes his speech, saying that it's not as easy as he made it seem. Production has been deteriorating over time. This banquet is exaggerated because they are very important people. Then he changes the subject to this ice construction that he himself ordered to be made. The government would benefit greatly from having him as an ally. The old man orders more food to be brought and says they can eat as much as they want. More food like this makes the woman certain that he is hiding secrets, and they can be used by the mountain base. The leader questions whether the government knows when this ice storm will end, if they have any plan to solve this climate problem. The woman then says that what she has to tell now is secret. As she is in a good mood, she will reveal it to him. She says the government has an elaborate plan to solve the snowstorm, and it will soon be put into action. They become extremely excited to hear this, and the woman says everything is under the government's control. Then she asks if they noticed anything different happening to any villagers lately. This time, the old man was not foolish. He pretended not to know what they were talking about. She tells them that the government is gathering these people to rebuild the country, and also says that people who know information about other mutants can tell the organization and will receive credit for it. However, the old man thinks to himself that, without any real confirmation of the benefits, he won't reveal that Shounen is his mutant. But he asks for the girl's phone and says that if he learns any information, he will contact her himself to tell her. Changing her expression, the woman questions that she knows he is hiding something from his superiors. The old man, afraid, says he doesn't understand what she's talking about, and she insists that she knows something and is hiding it from them. Hiding information from the organization is a serious crime. With these threats, the old man changes his mind and goes to the woman. He just didn't tell before because his people don't know the person very well. She is curious about who he is. The old man replies that his name is Zhang Yi and that he lives on the other side of the river in a mansion. This really excites her. It's the name of the person they went out to investigate at the organization's request. She says to tell everything about this person. They will use this opportunity to get more information. The people then tell how the protagonist is a monster. They went there just to get some of his food, and he exterminated all their people. Half of the village was wiped out in the attack on his house across the lake. The old leader confirms this, and the people around him demonstrating their anger convinces the woman that this is true. Indeed, Zhang Yi is the mutant they are looking for. What she needs to know now is his face and his powers. However, they don't know this. Anyone who saw his face died. Anyone who saw his powers also died. In the end, the woman didn't get any real useful information. After talking, the two decide to leave, and they say that if the old man gets any information, he should report it immediately to her. As they move away, the first thing she does is notify the base that they found a people who have a lot of food and can be useful to them in the future. The man then questions why she lied so much to their people. She responds that it was for them to treat them as special guests. If it weren't for that, they wouldn't have the information and wouldn't have been treated well. He warns that when the people find out, they will be furious. But for her, that doesn't matter. The two spot the protagonist's mansion in the gated community on the other side of the river. The soldier says that, to keep such a large house heated and with so many supplies, he must be someone out of the ordinary. The woman then believes that he really must be behind the warehouse robbery. As that last news they received said, they prepare themselves. The man's power is to make big jumps. Carrying the woman on his back, they arrived right inside the enemy's property. They realize it's a luxury house of the highest standard. As impenetrable as a wall may be, the woman can get into anywhere. Her partner questions if it's safe for her to be alone. Wouldn't it be better to ask for reinforcements? She doesn't want to wait and says she will check first what's inside. Besides, he's just a normal person with powers. Her abilities are imperceptible to people. She crosses the bunker wall and enters the protagonist's house. Soon, she realizes everything is lit and heated. A bad feeling makes her hesitate. The person who lives here has a better life than the people in the first layer of her base. Could this Zhang Yi be more dangerous than the military base itself? He decides to go back to ask for reinforcements, but leaves a knife to signal that he's not safe, and leaves. She says the place is very strange. They should go back with reinforcements. The woman explains that the person who lives here is more prepared than they are. It would be impossible even for the elite of the mountain base to maintain such a comfortable and secure house. He must have many powers and unknown resources. Her ability is not good for combat. If she were noticed, it would be certain death. She mounts him, and they leave. While they were invading the enemy's base, inside his room, the cat noticed something and woke Zhang Yi up. He, with his weapon in hand, looks at the phone. There were no records of the security system. However, as the cat insists on leaving the room, he opens the door, and she goes straight to the knife left behind. Knowing that this came from outside, he checks the security system recordings from moments ago. Someone entered the house using a special ability. He becomes furious knowing that someone can invade his safe place and put his things at risk. Someone with this ability cannot exist. He tells the kitten that they will now go after the invaders. With his bulletproof vest and looking at the cameras, it wasn't long since they left here. The two soldiers on their snowmobile sled are on their way to the base to pass on the information. The woman says that what she is going to tell now is secret, but she's in a good mood and will reveal it to him. Zhang Yi is suspected of having stolen the Walmart warehouse, but no one knows how a single person could have done that. However, she suspects that he has some kind of ability that can hide things and somehow access them later, something like having access to another spatial dimension. That would explain everything he did. This type of ability is unprecedented. How can something so absurd exist? She agrees that if this is true, this is the most powerful ability for this world. For this information, they will be very well rewarded. She is eager to get to the base and tell everything to the leader. Her happiness is interrupted by a projectile that passes through her brain. Zhang Yi was as accurate as ever. Her panicked partner points in the direction the shot came from, but he was no longer there. Another shot happened, and this time he fled, taking his companion's body with him. Angry at having missed, he calms down again and knows how to dominate this situation. He jumps off the cat and says they have to kill these two no matter what happens. He orders the cat to attack in that direction. The hidden soldier, trying to get some information about who was attacking, doesn't know what to do now. A giant ball of fur comes rolling towards him. He protects his ally's body and narrowly dodges it. The trail of destruction shows how powerful this monster is. The Blossom Cat missed her attack and quickly returned to attack with her claws. The soldier took a gun out of his ass because he didn't have it with him before. During the fight, Zhang Yi fires rifle shots to hit the soldier, and then he jumps high. Now in the air, the protagonist is sure that he won't be able to escape the next shot. The soldier escaped a cat attack, and when he noticed a projectile coming towards him, he did his best to dodge it too. Unfortunately, he managed to dodge a rifle, but now from the next attack of the Blossom Cat, he was not able to. He swallowed his arm and left it stuck. This opportunity was seized by Zhang Yi, who perfectly hit his skull. The two people were lying in the snow, and the Blossom Cat wanted to say something to him. Zhang Yi, not understanding what she means, then realizes that the girl's body began to emanate a yellow energy. Curious about this, he goes to her and wonders if this has to do with the girl's powers. Trying to touch the girl, this energy flows into his body. He feels that it was the girl's powers that are now part of him. Very happy with this, he kisses the Blossom Cat. He picks up the girl's body to examine and puts it inside his storage space. Now that they are not alive, there is no problem. Later, he was at home, and Shinshin says that what he asked her to do, there is ready. From the equipment they had with the two soldiers who died, she found out that they are members of the Shishan Refuge Organization in a base in the mountain about 27 kilometers from here. It is an underground location divided into 4 layers. Several military forces and people with special abilities live there. This information, with just so little, makes the protagonist recognize once again that Shinshin is amazing. Jokir goes to them to say that she has something important she has discovered. They go to the examination room. There she shows that the brain cells of the girl are different from those of a normal human being. People with special powers have their brain cells altered. Perhaps it is a brain alteration that gives powers to mutants. But unlike the woman, the man's mutation was not in the brain, but in the muscle cells of his legs. Furthermore, they were different from the woman's. Jokir believes he is an artificially created mutant. Artificial mutation was made in the leg muscles. After these discoveries, Zhang Yi went to the underground to test his new powers. Now, he can use this ability to reinforce projectiles. I thought the new power would be like the girl's, like the protagonist of Charlotte, who can steal powers. But the new power he stole from the woman who passes through walls, he didn't use. At the military base, a distress call came from the agents who were investigating Zhang Yi's mansion territory. The leader of the two soldiers sent orders to send reinforcements now, but his request is denied. To do this, he has to ask for permission from the base leader. However, when he reaches the Grand Leader's room, his secretary is blocking the door and says he can't speak now. He is doing something very important. The mutant military personnel at the base insist it's an emergency. However, the secretary also insists that the supreme leader is also in an emergency and cannot be interrupted. They must come back later. Inside the room, the leader's emergency was an intimate meeting with the girls who came from the elite school. They make a point of praising everything the leader does and how great he is. We know this is to please the most powerful person there. After finishing playing doctor, they put on their clothes to return to their dormitories. After this important meeting, the leader asks what was the important matter of the soldiers. He explains that the captain received a maximum reinforcement request from his members who were exploring the region of that boy involved in the Walmart robbery. The leader authorizes sending reinforcements only of low ranks. This call is not important to waste important resources. After waiting a long time, the secretary notified that they can send their low-ranking reinforcements. The annoyed captain provided the troops. On the way back to his post, the teacher was also passing through the same place and noticed her students around here on the first layer. She didn't understand how this should be possible and asks the young girls. The two naughty ones reply that they are also surprised. The teacher is on the first floor, so she must have become important too. They boast that they also have their special abilities. They are incredible fighting in Leader Chen Xining's bed.